This one, however, who does look like a man, but is much more than a man, has recalled you from death into life. Therefore you should thank him alone for this life which he has given you again." The boy looked me over from head to foot in surprise, and said after a while, more clearly remembering, "That is the same who called me away from the wonderful company, and said to me, 'Jozo, come, for you must be a witness for me on earth that I have been given all the power in heaven and on earth.' And I willingly followed him, for I immediately felt that he had come from God and carried within him the fullness of the divine power and authority over all things in heaven and on earth. For exactly as he is here, I earlier saw him in the spirit world, where I surely was when I was called by him to return to this world. Now it is all becoming clear to me, and I realize that I have already lived on this earth and then died. But what the dying was like, I do not know, for I must only just have left this world. How and in what way I do not know, when I found myself already in a beautiful house, in a very dear company, where I was very happy. Now and then I also saw my parents and brothers and sisters, and discussed with them divine matters, which my very experienced companions showed and taught me. But this Holy One I have not seen previously, except for a few moments before I returned to this world." Here I said to the two youths, "Get him a garment and some bread and wine, so that his flesh may be strengthened, and he can go with us to Nazareth." As soon as I had bid the two provide this, it was already there. This was too much for our Bab and his wife, and she said to her husband, "Dear Bab, do you not notice that we too are great sinners, and that here in the man Jesus dwells the fullness of God? Is he not the one of whom all the prophets up to Zacharias and his son John have prophesied? Is he not the one whom David called his Lord when he said, 'The Lord spoke to my Lord'? Is he not the one of whom the great David speaks when he says, 'Lift up your heads, your gates, lift yourselves up, your everlasting doors, that the King of glory may enter'? Who then is the King of glory? It is the Lord Jehovah Zebaoth. My husband, here is Jehovah, and none other, but we are sinners and unworthy to remain in his presence. Come, let us purify ourselves according to the law of Moses. Only then can we return and approach him," say I to the two who are so deeply moved. He who can raise from the dead can also purify without Moses. So stay, for Moses is not more than I, and he who had awakened him to that which he was. Your sins are forgiven, and so you are pure, and do not need Moses at all, for Moses is nothing without me," says Bab. "If that is so, and I do not doubt it at all, we shall stay, for Moses will not ever make us any purer than does the Almighty himself," says the woman. "I am only my Lord's handmaiden, and so be it the way you wish and understand it to be right. But this supremely holy presence of God overwhelms me," say I. "Woman, I saw your worship of God in Nazareth, and what you saw me do now, I did above all for your sake. Therefore you may as well bear my presence. But now I impress upon all of you not to mention a word about this to anyone. This is not for my sake or for yours, but for the sake of the many unbelieving people, so that they do not believe in the Son of Man under judgment, but spontaneously when the gospel is preached to them. The people, as they are now, would be forced through such a witness as with iron chains to believe in me, which would be most detrimental to their free life. Their later descendants would not accept such reports anyway, regarding them as exaggerated, as pure fantasies of the human mind, and consequently reject the pure teaching and eternal truth. Therefore, it is better that such deeds that were performed by me are completely concealed, since they would not benefit anyone, especially now during the early time of my ministry. You, Jairus, who shall eventually, when the time is suitable, return the boy Joseph to his parents, shall quite conscientiously and truthfully explain to him how he should regard this matter. He shall believe, but not want to cause a sensation before the people. The boy, now raised from the dead, will no longer die physically, since he has already gone through the decomposition. But when his time will come, an angel will call him, and he will voluntarily follow the call. And then no mortal eyes will see him again anywhere on this earth. Now that the boy has consumed all his bread and wine, and the twilight is already upon us, we shall go home. We now leave the synagogue, and Jairus and Boris close the wall behind them, after they have asked the two youths to place the coffin once more in the tomb, which was carried out by the two in just a moment.